In this video, I'm going to discuss exactly what is formal charge, how to find formal charge of a specified element. So first let us understand the formal charge, how to calculate formal charge. In order to understand the formal charge, the basic things you have to know the number of valence electrons. For example, if you take a carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, like this, carbon number of valence electrons, that is 4, nitrogen is 5, oxygen is 6. And after that, the important point you have to know, that is bond pair and a lone pair. And if you see this particular structure, oxygen has one lone pair. That particular pair belongs to oxygen exclusively, and whatever the dashes you are writing, these dashes are single bonds, and this bond consists of two electrons. In this bond pair, one electron actually belongs to hydrogen, another electron belongs to oxygen. And most importantly, when you are finding formal charge, you have to distribute bond pair of electrons equally. Equal distribution of bond pair of electrons. So totally there are 3 bond pairs, and they are distributed to oxygens and hydrogens. Now you have to count the number of electrons present around oxygen in this structure after equal distribution. If you see this oxygen here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrons are present after equal distribution. Lone pair, already I told you, lone pair belongs to oxygen exclusively, hydrogen has no right. And in this first structure, after equal distribution, oxygen is having 5 electrons, but oxygen has to have 6 electrons around it. But there are only 5 electrons. There is a shortage of 1 electron. Therefore, formal charge of oxygen in this is +1. And we are talking about the second structure. There is no lone pair on nitrogen. Already told you, bond pair of electrons should be distributed equally. There are 4 single bonds, means there are 4 bond pairs, and these bond pairs should be distributed equally. Now if you see the situation of nitrogen, nitrogen has 4 electrons around it. 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nitrogen valence is 5. Neutral nitrogen has 5 electrons around it, but there are only 4 electrons. There is deficiency of an electron. Therefore, formal charge of nitrogen is +1. And in this, they have given 2 lone pairs very clearly. The main point you have to do, bond pair of electrons should be distributed equally like this. Now you have to count the electrons. The number of electrons around nitrogen, it will be lone pair belongs to nitrogen exclusively. So this is the situation, and here this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons. Nitrogen valence is 5, but here there are 6 electrons. There is one additional electron. Therefore, formal charge of nitrogen is -1. So this is the procedure we are following to find a formal charge. And if you see the other structure in this, let us find the formal charge on oxygen and carbon. And here they clearly gave lone pair. So here oxygen has 3 bond pairs, 3 dashes, 3 bond pairs like this. They should be distributed equally, and also there is one lone pair mentioned, and this is the distribution. And now if you count the number of electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oxygen has to have 6, but there are only 5. 1 electron is less. Therefore, formal charge on oxygen is +1. So similarly, we can count the formal charges. So here for nitrogen, oxygen, all those elements we can find. Now if you count here, oxygen has 7 electrons around it, 3 lone pairs and 1 bond pair. Bond pair is distributed equally. This particular oxygen is -1. This particular oxygen is 0. But similarly, If you see nitrogen, formal charge on nitrogen in this structure, you can see there are 4 electrons around it. So this is -1, this is 0, this is +1. So this is the procedure. And if you want a particular formula to find formal charge, this is the formula I'm going to give. So formal charge, first you need to know the number of valence electrons in the neutral atom, and you have to subtract non-bonding electrons. So here there are 2 non-bonding electrons, I just counted as lone pair, minus half into number of bond pair electrons. Already told you bond pair should be distributed equally. This is the first concept to know the formal charge. These are the things required. And if Lewis dot structure is given, if a formal charge is asked, they will definitely mention the lone pairs or non-bonding electrons if there are any.